All right. Day 16 of fall, year 1. Here we go. We already did our first Skull Cavern run. It's a gold luck day today. It was a gold luck day when we did our first Skull Cavern run. It was not ideal. But we did get to floor 104, and we came back with, I think it was 160 iridium ore. So not bad for a first go. Not bad for a first go into the Skull Cavern. Not bad for a gold luck day instead of an iridium luck day. Just not bad overall. It was also not great, but it was not bad. So it's a good start. Floor 104 on the first foray into the Skull Cavern is not a bad deal. Alright. So right now, we want to start prepping for another Skull Cavern run because we're always going to need more iridium. We need to make so many iridium sprinklers. But the battery packs are going to be a bottleneck for us. So it does seem, sadly, that we may have to go back to making quality sprinklers to keep this train rolling. So thankfully, I have a quartz crystallarium there so that we never run out of quartz. Alright. It's the 16th. We planted our second round of pumpkins. How many pumpkin seeds did we have left? 200. So we planted somewhere around 1,500 pumpkins. It's a little bit less than I wanted to, but it works. It works. And now I don't know why that mushroom's in there. I think we're going to hold on to these potatoes just in case. If we want to do some more fishing, then we will want those potatoes. We have sardines in our fish chest. Make some dish of the sea if at some point we feel it necessary to do fishing again. I'm not certain if fishing level has anything to do with the stuff you find in chests or the likelihood of finding fishing chests. If it does, then that will be important later. Fishing chests can provide a lot of good stuff, including iridium ore. The lucky ring is possible from fishing chests. I guess theoretically battery packs could also be possible from fishing chests, although I can't say that I've ever seen one come up. We're going to throw that mushroom in here. That's a forage item. We did buy the big chest recipe, so we might want to go ahead and do that. We're going to need to chop down a bunch of trees to do that. But let's make a couple. Okay, I'm not carrying my fishing pole these days. Alright. Big chest is 120 wood and 2 copper bar. Right, I keep forgetting I've put the workbench there, so I no longer have to do that. Now, the nice thing with the big chests, you can just plop it down on the other chest. And not only will it just replace it, it will also take on whatever color you already assigned. So that's a nice little quality of life thing. See that? So there we go. I don't think I need more than that. We might want a third one for the forage bin. the forage bin can get pretty full, and we're about to go into winter, where we're going to be foraging more items, and we're going to be really utilizing those winter forage items to make wild seeds, because that is what we're going to be growing mostly. We're not going to find a ton of powder melons. We're going to find some in the seed spots, but we're not going to find a ton of them. The winter forage is most of what we're going to be growing over the winter here. And that's going to be getting us forage XP that will hopefully get us up to 10. So we are going to make one more big chest. We're going to plop it down on the forage there. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. Okay. I need to get off of that. All I wanted to do was open the chest to put that smaller chest inside for storage. Because we have all the backpack upgrades, I don't really need to be carrying chests around with me. I don't really need them in other places on the map. I guess if I wanted to be super duper efficient, I could set up my furnaces and my charcoal kilns at the mines and make bars while I farm ore. I could do that. I don't think I'm that concerned with it. I kind of like having them here on the farm with me. I kind of like having all of my machines together in one place. And I can't farm crops up there anyway, so that doesn't really concern me. Alright, so now we know we're getting down on wood, and we know we need hardwood. We have enough materials for a decent skull cavern run. So let's go do a Secret Woods and Cindersap Forest chopping spree, yeah? When we come back, we can do some more clearing up on the farm. We need the wood, we need the hardwood. When we get to level 10 foraging, we can opt in for the getting hardwood from regular trees trait, skill, whatever you want to call it. Ah, the Stardew Valley Fair. You know, I might want to participate. I don't have a ton of stuff to bring with me, though. I don't know. The only reason I would go would be to get the rare crow. I mean, I guess the prize ticket. So we'll see. I'm definitely doing this. I'm definitely getting this hardwood, and then we'll go see what we can do about that. I'm not really worried about those slimes. They're just annoying, so I'm gonna kill them. They're not gonna give me enough experience to even make it worth the time. But they were going to be annoying, and eventually I was going to get slimed and super slowed down while I'm trying to move around quick. Okay, so yeah, you know, we're going to go ahead and go to the fair. I'm not super duper excited about it, but we're going to go ahead and do it and see what we can get. Alright, so what are we gonna put? I don't think we have anything here that's worth putting in. Definitely nothing there that's worth putting in. Maybe an iridium tuna is worth putting in. One of the things we want to do if we're doing the fair is we want to do a bunch of different categories. See how monster loot, resource, mineral. We want to do as many different categories as we can. Okay, resource. So we're going to put these away. Going to go to an empty tab space there. We're going to grab, I don't know how many different, we're going to do resource, we're going to do mineral, I think we'll do fruit. Have we saved any vegetables? I don't think we have. Okay, so we'll do a fish. Cooking, there we go, that's a good one. I think we'll do that pink cake. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, like one more thing. I don't think anything from this page is worth it from that box. Maybe a pomegranate. This gold star pomegranate, sure, why not? Alright, that's it. So we're getting extra points because we're using fruit, cooking, fish. We have 2 fruits. So that's not actually great, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different categories, so we get a little bit of extra points just for different categories. None of this stuff is fantastic. I'd probably get about the same points by just putting 8 iridium bars and the prismatic shard in. So we do have this rare crow that we want. We do have a star drop that we want, so actually that's a good thing we came. We wouldn't mind the prize ticket. Sometimes you can get an iridium sprinkler from the prize machine. That would be great. So we'll go ahead and we'll put our stuff in the bin. We'll see how many tickets we get. Tokens, whatever you want to call them. Alright, I have to manually place them. Okay, so there's our display. I am going to be surprised if we win. And then we'll take our tokens down to the spinning dial down here and just put 40% of it on green until we have enough. And enough is going to be, I think, 4,000. 3,800. If we end up with more than that, we could get the fedora. I like the hat I'm wearing now, but we could put that on the dog. We could get mixed seeds if we have that much extra. Oh, we got it. Alright. Alright, so let's just go clean this out now while we're thinking about it. Okay. And then we go down here and we bet on green with about 40% each time, so that if we do lose, we can go again. It has a much higher chance of landing on green, so you're generally going to continue building slowly no matter what else is going on. Alright, so we're just going to spin this until we have about 4,000 tokens. We might want to do it a little bit extra to get that fedora for the dog. I'm not doing any real math here. I'm just kind of estimating the math. Alright, I'm going halfway, and then I'm subtracting a bit. Alright, we just want to do a little bit more. We don't need a bunch more. So at this point, all the more we would need would be like 500. 500 was the cost of the fedora. So that's what I'm going to bet. And there we go. We can now get everything we need. We can ignore everything else going on here. There are some funny dialogue options, but we can just go ahead and buy our rewards that we wanted and get back to what we were doing. See, we still have enough for that fedora. So Chill Jr. is going to have a cool fedora, and why not get the sunflowers, right? We had extra tokens, so why not? Alright. Oh, that's right, the pink cake was in this. This is energy food storage, which happens to be mostly fish. Okay, so the rest, I can go place the rare crow. Not that I 100% need to right this moment, but I might as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That way they overlap a little bit so the corners are safer. And then we're gonna go inside and we're gonna put this hat on the dog. Chill Jr. is now gonna be rocking this fedora. Yeah, that can go in there. Do we want to go ahead and make more? We might as well make more quartz. We have it. We might as well make it. And then we're going to need to do more wood farming tomorrow. I think if it is an Iridium luck day, we might just go ahead and do the skull caverns. If it is not an Iridium luck day, we'll go do the secret woods and we'll clear trees off the farm. We're starting to run out of wood here. Let's see what our charcoal situation looks like. We'll load up these furnaces before we go to bed. We just want to keep these charcoal furnaces rolling because we're having to make our own bombs, and that takes charcoal. So every time we want to do a skull cavern run, we're going to average using up about 150 coal, and it's pretty likely that we don't come home with 150 coal. 150 coal would be a good run. Ooh, stylish. Look at that puppy. Alright, and we're going to take that bowl off and we're going to put those sunflowers on. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? At some point, we will upgrade the farmhouse. At some point. But that point is not right now. Alright, it's a bad luck day, so we definitely are not doing skull cavern runs on a bad luck day. So we are now kind of free to go about our business. I think we just keep making the quartz. Keep in mind, we're both going to be going back to making quality sprinklers. We need these battery packs for the Ginger Island Ferry. We can't use them on iridium sprinklers. So not only are we going back to making quality sprinklers again, which I'm not tremendously happy about, but we also at some point are going to want to make a bunch of garden pots. Garden pots also require refined quartz as an ingredient, so it's never a bad thing to just keep stacking up this refined quartz. We're going to want hundreds of refined quartz for the garden pots. Right, we maybe 60 or so inside the greenhouse, but then also we're going to fill the house with them, I think. I think that falls within the spirit of this challenge. Right? We want to fill everywhere we can with crops. So that's what we're doing. So let's refill these charcoal kilns, and then we'll go do the secret woods for the hardwood. I'll grab that on the way back when I can put it in the chest after. Whoop. We always want to hit those panning spots anytime we see one. It's free, it doesn't cost us anything, and we have a chance at iridium ore. Now that's one thing we want to do, is upgrade this pan to an iridium pan as soon as possible. Let's check in on how much iridium bars we have, and we'll see about upgrading that. The iridium pan is kind of overpowered. You get much more, you get more loot. First of all, it is better quality loot. Second of all, and third of all, it does have a pretty high chance to immediately spawn another panning spot. Now, depending on which map you're on, you may or may not find that panning spot before it goes away. But there is that chance that not only does it spawn another one, it spawns it nearby and you can get it easily. So with that in mind, anytime there's water nearby, we're just going to take a couple. See that? Just spawned as we were walking by. I was saying, as we're walking nearby any water, see, that's not bad. Whoop, I just heard it again, but on this map, it's such a lot of, there's so much water. So it can be hard. I'm not going to walk around the whole map to try to find it. Just slightly out of our way to scout for the panning spots. Alright, and now we're going to chop down trees on the farm. We're going to clean up this place. As soon as we get enough hardwood, which is going to be a few more days, we will patch up the ferry to Ginger Island. And I've got to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Ginger Island. Really everything about it. Alright, we just leveled up foraging. That's a big deal, because that means that we're almost guaranteed now to level up foraging to 10 during winter sometime, if not before. Alright, excuse me for one moment. Alright, I'm back. Alright, we're just going to clear this up. We're going to keep doing this. We'll get level 10 foraging during winter at this point no matter what. We know that because we just got level 9. And over the winter we're going to be growing a lot of the forageables, the wild seeds. So we'll hit level 10 on that, no problem. So at some point, we'll just have to put on some monster musk and go down to the deeper levels of the mines for a day. We'll have to do a combat farming run, combat experience farming. And then we'll have our masteries ready. Might want to do that sooner rather than later. The level 10 foraging is going to come whether, no matter what else we do. We're going to get that. If not sooner than 1 month from now. We do have this one mahogany tree up here. We want to leave that. We put tree fertilizer on it. So hopefully it'll be ready sooner rather than later. And for now, we can just leave it there until it puts out seeds. We're not using the space yet. Alright, I just heard a panning spot open up. And we only have so much water on this farm. There it is. So I know it has to be in one of two places because there's only 2 small ponds here. See how that opened right back up again? 10 coal and 10 gold. That's not bad. 5 iridium ore and an omni-geode. See how powerful panning can be? That's why we want to upgrade this pan to an iridium pan. Because we'll get even more resources and more panning spots as well, more chances for more resources. Alright, it is currently snowing here. It doesn't appear that we are in danger of a power outage here where I am on the East Coast. That's not to say it can't happen, okay? So if I do cut out, if the stream suddenly goes dead, you can just assume that the power's gone out or that the internet has gone out. And you can also assume that I'm just fine. I heat with a wood stove. I have 5 days worth of wood inside the house with me right now. I have plenty of water. I have plenty of food. I'm going to be fine. I'm more worried about the people down south who are getting way more ice. We're mostly getting snow over here. And we may finish out the storm with some ice, but it's not going to be a catastrophic amount where I am. At least that's the current forecast. We might as well just save that. We can bank it. Alright. We do have enough iridium bars. We're not currently doing anything with them, so we might as well upgrade. We can upgrade something. We should probably upgrade the hoe first, but there's plenty of time for that. We already have our second crop of pumpkins in the ground. We are not going to be doing more planting this season. So the hoe can wait. What I'm going to do right now is immediately upgrade this pan, because it can get us a significant amount of resources. So we're going to go, it's 4 o'clock already. Does he close at 4? I'm going to use the wiki. This is using the wiki is a pretty common thing. Alright. Blacksmith. He closes at 4 p.m., so he's already closed. So we'll do that tomorrow if we get around to it. If we get around to it, we'll do that tomorrow. For today, what we will do is go farm iron ore, the old standby. Go farm iron ore. I guess theoretically we could go, we can go turn in that prize ticket. Just to see what we get, right? Let's go see what we get. And then we can farm some iron ore, maybe, if we have time. That corn's just a leftover from summertime. It came up in mixed seeds that I planted, and it has carried over the seasons. There just didn't really seem to be a reason to kill it in favor of pumpkins. Alright, the one thing we are definitely looking for here is biome balance. No, we still have these two, Gus's Omelet and Robin's Project. We're doing neither of those things. Alright, a star drop tea. I can't complain. I can't complain. The preserve jars is okay. We're only utilizing them for the legend row. We are not putting crops in them. We're not putting fruit in them. The only thing we're using the preserve jars for is our legend row. Okay, I just heard a pan spot drop. So I'm just going to take a short detour to see if I can see it. I cannot. So we're just going to move on with our lives. This is also a big map for water. It's hard to check it all. Alright, let's just have a check in the quarry. It's been a few days. I just heard a panning spot drop here as well. We might as well walk across the bridge and just check it out. See if we can see it, see if it's close by. There it is. You don't have to be right next to it. Looks like it's kind of improbable that we do much iron ore farming here. I kind of piddled away the day a little bit. That's on me. It wasn't the most efficient day. But we achieved our goals for today. We do need to start iron farming again if we want to do not only the best skull cavern run we can, but also, there it is right there, pretty close by. But also we need to start making quality sprinklers again. Okay, I'm not going to be like running all over the map, but I did hear it ping again. So I want to see if I can see it, and I cannot. We do need to start making quality sprinklers again because we have hit the battery pack bottleneck. You know, in this whole year so far, excuse me. In this whole year so far, we have only had, I think, 3 thunderstorms total. 1 thunderstorm before I even had access to lightning rods, and 2 thunderstorms after I had access to lightning rods. So we're pretty short on battery packs. There's a little bit of time left in the day. We're gonna just do a couple dives down in here. It's a bad luck day. I don't expect to see much. We're just gonna keep resetting. If we do find a staircase, we take it. There we go. Not bad. Not bad. We're going to pick up quartz when we see it because we still need it for the quality sprinklers. And we're not going to shy away from combat, but we're not going to chase after it either. There's a quartz, there's a couple iron as well. And then we're going to go home. It's getting late, we're low on energy. I'm going to take this combat first, though. Alright. Now we can head home. So we did a little of a lot of different things today. I'm here, I'm gonna pick up this forage. It's a little bit of XP. We did a little bit of a lot of different things today, which is definitely not the most efficient way to play it, but we got some stuff done. And we're going to have to keep doing that. We want to keep harvesting the secret woods. We need that hardwood. We currently have, I'll tell you in a minute. I'm in the wrong bin for that. We got very little iron ore. We didn't do much on that front today. Okay, we currently have 139. Which means we need 61 more to repair the ferry. Which is what? 5 days of the secret woods? And if that mahogany that we planted with tree fertilizer gets fully grown sooner, that will be 1 less day probably. So it's 4 or 5 days until we can repair the ferry right now. Alright, buddy, excuse me. I love your hat, by the way. Alright, we can make rain totems. We're never going to make rain totems. We're just not gonna. Yeah, you have to have truffle oil for that. We're not gonna do that. We still are holding on to 2 rain totems. So if we ever do need to use them, they are available. but I did look it up, and rain totems do not have any chance of creating a thunderstorm. So that's it's less useful for that, right? I was hoping we could farm some battery packs by using rain totems, but that's not possible. Okay, let's go ahead and make that iridium bar, and then just make more quartz. Alright, our strawberries are probably done. I should have brought the wood over with me and done that all at once. Alright, we're gonna throw that. Yep, there's our strawberries. That's 20,000 gold. We currently have 306,155 gold, so we're not broke, but we want to be banking that because we want to be filling the Ginger Island farm with something. Now, I'm not entirely sure what that something is going to be. I was doing the math on starfruit, and I gotta say, the math doesn't actually work out as clearly as I thought it would. Strawberries seem to be a strong contender. I'm a bit surprised. I would like to... What just happened? Did I pick up one of the sprinklers out of the greenhouse? I did. How did that happen? Okay. Strawberries actually seem to be a contender because they're ripe every 4 days. Now, I don't necessarily want to be having to harvest the whole Ginger Island farm every 4 days. So I think I'll probably go with pineapples on the Ginger Island farm. They're very profitable. They're renewable. And some pineapples will come up by planting mixed seeds on the Ginger Island farm. So, combined with seed makers, we will eventually be able to fill the whole thing. I think ancient fruit in the long run would be more profitable, but I definitely have to do some math. Alright, so we can do a little bit of that here. See, my point with the strawberries is I never have to buy the seeds right now, right? I can make my own seeds. With the tiller profession, it's just an average of 165 gold per plant per harvest, right? It's 165 gold per plant per harvest, which is 4 days. And there's also a chance to get a second strawberry here and there. So I'll say 175 gold per plant per harvest. So 175 gold divided by 4 is 43 gold per day. It's 43 3/4, but let's say it's 43 gold per day per plant. Okay. Starfruit, which is usually considered the most profitable fruit, is, well, one of the things to consider is that the seeds are 400 gold each. Okay, so let's take that in consideration. Starfruit is an average of 1,030 gold to sell. We're taking the silver price and we're calling that an average. We're usually going to get the equal amount of normal silver and gold. So we're just taking the silver price with the tiller profession. And with agriculturist and no fertilizer, because we don't want to be paying more than that. We're just calculating the raw profit here from planting. I don't want to do all of the math right now, just some of the math. So it is 11 days with agriculturist, which I have. Okay, it's 11 days. So it's 1,030 minus the 400 divided by 11 is 57 gold per plant per day. Okay, that is larger than the strawberries. I'll give it that. That is larger than the strawberries, but it's also a lot more work. Is it 30% more work? No, I think it's 3 times more work. Having to replant every 11 days. All right, so let's look at pineapples now. We're not spending anything on the seeds. They're going to come out of mixed seeds. We're going to use seed makers to make more. With the starfruit seeds, if you use seed makers to make them, then you can only ever harvest, you're only ever selling half of the field. So it would be 100% profit, but it would be half the amount because you would need to use half of them to make seeds. With pineapples, once they grow, then I no longer have to use half of them to make seed anymore. They stay in the ground forever. Starfruit, you have to regrow every time. So pineapples, their average sale price is 412 gold. They have no cost, and they come ripe every 7 days. That is 58 gold per day per plant. That's already more than starfruit. Okay? That's already more than starfruit. That's an interesting one, isn't it? All right, now ancient fruit, which we don't even have access to yet. Sadly, I have not found an ancient fruit seed yet. But ancient fruit is obviously the way to go. Ancient fruit is obviously the way to go for this challenge. All right, it's an average of 755 gold. And once it grows out, once it's fully grown, it's every 7 days. That's 107 gold per day per plant. So for 2 months out of the year on the farm, if we were to plant the entire farm with ancient fruit, now keep in mind that's going to be very hard to make that many seeds, but that would be, for 2 months out of the year, 366,000 gold per day. So that's going to be 20 million gold. If we can manage to get the Ginger Island farm completely full of ancient fruit and use that to make the 3,500 seeds that we need to plant the entire farm with ancient fruit on spring 1, then we will make 20,536,000 gold in one growing season. Right, I think that seems like the obvious choice at this point then, because the what did we say? It was 57 gold per day versus over 100 for the ancient fruit. we're missing a whole month to grow out the ancient fruit, but we're getting twice as much profit. So it actually comes out to more and significantly less work. So that seems to be the strategy here. We go strawberries, pineapples, ancient fruit. All right. Thank you for coming to math class. Now let's get back to video games. All right. Love you, bud. Chillin' Jr. loves you back. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Isn't that wonderful? See, all you gotta do is pet the dog. Wow, those kilns work fast. All you gotta do is pet the dog, man. Just pet it. Every single day. Alright. We gotta go do the secret woods. We gotta go do the secret woods. And then immediately, I tell you what, let's just go to Clint's first. Pretty sure the Ginger Island Ferry is 5 iridium bars, right? So as long as we keep 5, then we're good to go. So let's go upgrade our pan right now. We're going to do another Skull Cavern run as soon as we can. Right? As soon as we can. I'm just gonna make, it's just a few bombs, but I'm gonna make them so that we don't have to worry about that later. We're approaching a very good amount of bombs to have. Isn't Chillin' Jr. cute with his little fedora on? I'm glad I went to that Stardew Valley Fair and got that for him. Alright, let's upgrade this pan. So now, once we get that iridium pan back, that thing can really start paying dividends. Alright, now let's go do the secret woods. The secret woods is also great for foraging XP. Those hardwood stumps give more foraging XP than trees do. For a moment there I contemplated making some roads, but I am not. This whole thing is going to be crops. No walkways, no pathways, no roads. Excuse me. So we're going to do this. We're going to then go and farm iron ore. And we're just going to keep kind of doing this loop until we get an iridium luck day to do a skull cavern. Still not the dwarf scroll. What am I doing? Pickaxing. Still not the dwarf scroll that I'm waiting for. Getting really unlucky with these dwarf scroll drops. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and take this combat though, because these are frost jellies. They're not the little green guys. These give a few more XP. This green guy is just one swipe on the way by. So it's not even going out of our way at that point. Now again, we haven't been working on relationships, not even a little bit. And we're not really worried about it for the moment. Although I do love George and Evelyn both. And getting the coffee maker is always nice. I'm not really that worried about it. We have ourselves kind of set up for the things that we need. We're not going to be cooking. Oh, you know what? I heard that pan spot, but I don't have my pan. I apologize for the birds in the background if they're getting a little bit loud. There's not much else I can do about it right now. I'm heating the house with the wood stove, so the doors all have to stay open between the rooms, or the house doesn't get warm. If I close a door, then that room will get cold. It can happen pretty fast when temperatures outside are this cold. It's about 10 degrees outside. 10 degrees Fahrenheit, that is. Alright, so now we're going to go farm iron ore for a bit. And when I say a bit, I mean the rest of the day. And we're not going to chase after combat, but we're not going to shy away from it either. We do need the combat XP. We really want to get to that iridium scythe. We need to get all of our skills to 10 to work on mastery, and then we'll get the farming mastery followed by the mining mastery, which gives us access to extremely lucrative skull cavern runs. Alright guys, I'm gonna just take a second here to go check on the birds to make sure that there isn't something else going on other than just their good morning happy tweets, alright? Hold on one second. Alright. I will make a new message there that says birds be right back. They're fine. They're just playing, basically. Their play does involve some argument, as siblings tend to do. You know, it's my turn on the toy. No, it's my turn on the toy. That's pretty typical. Budgies are funny creatures. I'm gonna go, why not? I'm gonna go chase after this purple rock and see what we get. Alright. It was kind of wasted. But if we get a diamond or a ruby or a jade, then those are all helpful things for our skull cavern runs. Look at all these dust sprites. And a huge iron deposit. Alright, that's really good. That's really good. We need the iron for both bombs and for quality sprinklers. We're going to have to go back to the quality sprinklers. Tomorrow's Friday. We will get our one iridium sprinkler from Krobus that we can get every Friday. But that one weekly iridium sprinkler is not going to fill out our whole farm quickly enough. We want to have the whole farm basically sometime next year. I'm thinking I want to have this challenge done in year 3. I don't think it's possible in year 2. I think, we're going to open up Ginger Island here in the next few days sometime. And it's going to take us a while to get that thing full of pineapples. And once we do, it's going to take us a while to transition to ancient fruit, because I still have yet to find one. So I don't really foresee us meeting our goals of the challenge during year 2. If we would have found an ancient fruit at any point before now, I think we would be well on our way, because we could have filled the greenhouse with the ancient fruit. We would be making way more money than just the strawberries. And we would be able to be making ancient fruit seeds in the seed makers. We would be able to fill the Ginger Island farm with ancient fruit as soon as we got the Ginger Island farm. So any time before now, I think it could have been realistic to finish this challenge on year 2. But because of the lack of ancient fruit, I think it's going to be year 3. Alright, that was some good combat experience. Nothing on that floor, so back to the top. It's 7:20 p.m. We've got some time left. We currently have 110 iron ore that we've got from today. Not bad, not bad. We'll end up with maybe 150 or so. And keep in mind, that is with having gone down to the secret woods this morning first. And kind of fiddle-faddled around as we do. As we do. Alright, I'm not hating all of these dust sprites. I don't think they're a lot of combat XP, but they're coal, and it's at least some combat XP. Alright, okay, there's some iron there. Just gonna pickaxe our way back to the stairs. If we see a ladder, we take it. If we don't worry about it. We just start from the top. There's a quartz and there's some combat here, so we're gonna do that. Monster Slayer goal complete. That'll be the dust sprites. That'll be a burglar's ring. And I think that's actually something I would rather have than the glow ring. The glow ring is great for the dark levels and a bit around the farm, but I kind of know where I'm going on the farm. I kind of know what's going on the farm. The burglar's ring, I think at this stage, is probably a better deal, right? I can walk around this place in the dark. I'm fine. So I think we're going to go with that. I think we do a couple more forays down to level 41, and then we call it a night here. The snow is coming down pretty rapidly outside of my house, and it looks like it, oh my goodness, the staircase. Looks like it's probably getting pretty close to 6 inches already. We've got a lot yet to come. Looking like we might be, still not the dwarf scroll I'm looking for. Looking like we might be getting that 1.5 foot that they said was possible. It's very much going to depend on whether it switches to ice at some point here. I know they've predicted that it will switch to ice on the back half of this storm for us. And we could get some, not a bunch, but some, maybe up to 1/4 inch of ice. Alright, we'll head home now. So again, if I do happen, if the stream ends without me saying goodbye and have a great day, then the power has gone out and I'm just fine. I'm all set up here. I'm perfectly safe. I will be perfectly safe for at least 2 weeks without power. There's nothing to worry about. We have time to put our stuff away. 181 iron ore in the end. That's not bad at all. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and put our stuff away. I'm going to make some more bombs, because if we wake up in the morning and it's an iridium luck day, we just want to go. Now, keep in mind, I do have 3 Omni Geodes, so if it's not an iridium luck day tomorrow, I want to go get a desert warp totem. Okay, we'll make the bombs. Alright, and now we have enough bombs for a good Skull Caverns run. Okay, we're very unlikely to use more than this on any given day right now. So we're not 100% ready for a very good Skull Caverns run, just because we don't have a warp totem right now. That was my own mistake. Alright, great. It's a terrible, terrible luck day, which is actually the exact type of day that we might want to take our monster musk and go to the mines for some combat farming. That's the exact kind of day. The absolute worst luck, because what's going to happen is when you have bad luck, you're already spawning more monsters in the mines. You're spawning more monsters, Yeah, I'm sorry, Marnie. I'm not adopting more pets. I'd like to buy a pumpkin from you, Carolyn. Okay. I will attempt to remember that when I harvest my next batch of pumpkins. I will attempt to remember that when I harvest my next batch of pumpkins. Oh, I didn't do that. Alright, we do need 5 iridium bars for the ferry repair, but we already have enough to upgrade something else. So I'll probably do the pickaxe first and then the axe. Because right now we just want to be doing the secret woods every day. So one thing I want to do though is I want to do at least one more Skull Caverns run before I put my pickaxe in. Before I am without my pickaxe for a couple days. So, fingers crossed for an Iridium Luck Day very soon. Okay, the triple shot espressos though, it's not a great deal. Yeah, actually it's not a great deal at all. It's tempting anyway though. Alright. It's tempting anyway. But it's not a great deal. The diamonds are way cheaper than that. Alright, we're just going to collect our daily hardwood here to repair the ferry. And also getting some good foraging XP. I know there's a slime there. I'm not going to go out of my way for that. What we're going to do is we're going to go make some monster musk. And we're going to farm iron ore while farming combat. It's not going to be the greatest combat XP from those lower floors. It's floor 40 for iron ore. But with the monster musk on a horrible, horrible luck day, we should have so many monsters. I don't think I'm actually concerned with putting anything back in those. We could make 7 quality sprinklers right now. That used to be a lot, but now it's not so much. We can make some gold bars. What we're really hoping for is an Iridium Luck Day. This whole time we've been hoping for an Iridium Luck Day. We had an Iridium Luck Day at some point when we were not at all ready for Skull Cavern runs yet. I do need to go get that warp totem. And then we're 100% ready. Actually, while we're going, why am I going there without the other stuff? It's currently Friday. Okay, that's the eel and the coffee, the espresso. Sunday is when we trade for the staircases. We have plenty of staircases. It's not going to be a problem. We're not going to use more than 12 in one run. Okay, so we're going to go to the desert right now. We're going to get our food and drink. We're going to get our warp totem. We're going to go to Krobus. We're going to get our iridium sprinkler. Pretty big progress today. Okay, that was that. So now we are more than ready for another Skull Cavern run. If we wait and are patient for an iridium luck day, we might get to see a really good Skull Cavern run. A pre-mastery good Skull Cavern run is very different from a full mastery good Skull Cavern run. I will say that. If we have both statues and we get the luck blessing, for them, okay, I don't really care, but with the monster musk that we're gonna do, we might see some. Post mastery, you can definitely get very lucky. You can get, there's three things. There's two things off the farming statue of blessings. Krobus takes a vow of silence on Fridays, so he won't say anything to you. The Statue of Blessings has two useful ones for Skull Caverns. That would be a +1 luck buff, that's huge, or a +0.5 point speed boost, which is also pretty good. The Statue of the Dwarf King has 3 separate ones that are all useful. The ladders and shafts, the extra chance to get ladders and shafts, that is the most useful for Skull Cavern runs. It also has a find more geodes. That's not bad. And it has a find more coal, and that's also not bad. The ladders and shafts one, though, is incredible. That is, you cannot beat that. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there we go. There's an iridium sprinkler. Alright. So let's go farm. Where am I going? I need to go to the mine carts. And I need to make the monster musk. Alright. Here we go. Monster musk. I think it lasts like 4 or 5 minutes. That's why I made 2. Because I might need a second one to finish out the evening. Alright, we're going to throw this monster musk on. Oh, it's 10 minutes. That should be plenty. It's already 1:30. Okay, and it's a horrible luck day, so we should see lots of monsters. Come on, we'll see lots of monsters, right? Right? Alright, so maybe we should go deeper. The deeper levels. Definitely the monsters there give more XP. But I was wanting to layer this with iron ore farming, and maybe that's not going to be possible. Alright, here we go. Gotta make sure I don't accidentally... Okay, here we go. There's lots of monsters on this floor. And that is what we're here for. Keep in mind, right now the iron ore is actually kind of taking a back seat. Still not the dwarf scroll I was looking for. Okay. We're here for both combat XP and iron ore. If I wanted just combat XP, I definitely should not be this high up in the mines. I should be way down lower. But I want this iron ore. We're using lots and lots of... What am I doing? We're using lots and lots of iron ore to make bombs. And we also need a good bit to make our quality sprinklers. So I need to be farming iron ore every chance I can get. But since this was a horrible luck day, the worst basically, I wanted to go ahead and compound that with the monster musk to possibly get a combat level today. So we're gonna pickaxe our way back. Okay, we did get a staircase. A ladder. I should use the correct term, I guess. Ooh, look at all those dust sprites. It's too bad we already completed that goal. But it's not the end of the world. They're a little bit of XP. Alright, thankfully we are a high enough level, and using this lava katana we have high enough defense that these creatures don't really do any damage to us. So we're pretty safe here. We're not really in danger. Which also means we're not really getting a lot of XP from them because they're not dangerous. So there is also that. I should probably look up how much XP these are compared with stuff further down. One of the nice things about this is even if they're half as much XP, I do kill them more than twice as fast. Those monsters deeper down do have quite a bit of health. And even with the galaxy sword, they might take 3 or 4 hits. So that's at least one benefit here, is that I can kill these monsters faster and keep moving. So overall, it probably evens itself out. And at the same time gives me access to the iron ore that I really want. It is 9 o'clock p.m. We don't have a ton of iron ore. We've been spending a lot of time with the combat, that was the point. And yeah, we have plenty of time left on the monster musk. We only needed one for the day, since it was afternoon by the time we got here. Alright. Was really kind of hoping for a combat level. It's been a while since we got the last one. I can't remember when that was. Still not the dwarf scroll I'm looking for. Alright, we're just gonna go ahead and grab the iron that's here, and then we're gonna head home. Alright. Little disappointed. Okay, we're gonna do this. I know thermal boots. I know it's unlikely that we get an upgrade, but at this point I'm willing to try. Alright. So heading back home, we are 100% ready for an Iridium Luck day so that we can go and do a good Skull Cavern run. Just have not been finding an Iridium Luck day. It's crazy. Today was the worst possible luck you could get. Alright, we'll throw that in here. Okay. It's pretty crazy how we have not been able to find an Iridium Luck day. We have gone through a lot of days, and we're getting some gold luck days. And I got so impatient that I went ahead and took a gold luck day down to the Skull Cavern for our first time down. And it worked out okay. We came back with 160 iridium ore. We made it to floor 104. But that's not really what I wanted. But it did get us going. It got us some materials. Well, that was a lot of bat wings from one dungeon run. It did get us going. Alright, these are 100% worthless. See, this is what it looks like when you have the worst possible luck. So fingers crossed, we get something better. Iridium pan is ready today, that's good news. Gold luck, see, just not really finding the Iridium Luck days. Getting very unlucky with this whole string of days without an Iridium Luck day. I'm almost tempted to use the gold luck day again to go ahead and do this Skull Cavern run, but I don't think I'm gonna do it. I think we'll go ahead, get more hardwood down at the Secret Woods. We're so close to fixing the ferry up. I should really, next time the bookseller is in town, I should really go and get that snake legs or something book so that I can run faster through crops. Oh, slither legs. I think that's what it's called. Because I'm refusing to make pathways. We're doing crops, crops, crops. No paths. No walkways. No roads. So I definitely kind of need that power. I tell you what, I need every last combat XP I can get. Dwarf Scroll 1. Alright, we finally got it. That's the one we needed. That's the one we needed. So we're definitely going to go to the museum and turn that in. And then we can go talk to the dwarf. And that is a really big deal for our Skull Cavern runs because we can get the reduced bomb damage power book from him. So let's go do that. Make our way through all these pumpkins. Being careful not to damage any stems. I don't think it's a strawberry day. No, it's not. But I'm there, so I might as well grab the peaches. Alright, let's put away what we got from the secret woods. So close, so close. It is possible that we finish the ferry tomorrow. I'm not going to say it's likely, but it is possible. Alright, we do have some geodes. We might as well take those with us. Alright, love you, bud. Love you, Chillin' Jr. Alright, and also we have a steel hoe. We can go ahead and upgrade this hoe to a gold hoe right now. I'm wanting to keep both my axe and my pickaxe at the moment because I want to be farming the secret woods and I want to be able to take a Skull Cavern run as soon as the day presents itself to do so. Alright, so that's great news. We're going to put in our hoe, because we don't need that again right now. And we're going to process these geodes, and then we're going to take that dwarf scroll down to Gunther. And then we're going to go meet the dwarf. Birds are being incredibly active today. We opened a mystery box and got 2 mystery boxes. That very much adds to the mystery of the boxes. How did you get 2 in 1? Alright, that's fine. I am perfectly happy with that. All we got, we didn't get anything new, but we did get the dwarf scroll. So, Dwarvish Translation Guide. There's nothing else there that I want. Okay. So, I did not bring a bomb with me. So we do need to go back home real quick and grab a bomb so that we can talk to the dwarf. Alright, let's sell. Most of the minerals and stuff, artichoke seeds, 8 days. It's a little late for that. Most of the minerals, once you donate one, you never need it again. You never need it again. Alright, I'm gonna throw the coffee in here. Right, we've got foods. Alright. Got some farming stuff. Got some mining stuff. We just need to grab one bomb and make our way to the mine, where we can then talk to the dwarf to get the power book to take less damage from bombs, which is Skull Caverns Essential. Yep, see that Dwarvish safety manual? It's only 4,000 gold. Bombs deal 25% less damage to you. That is huge, okay? We're going to get this big stone chest recipe as well. We've been using all of our wood to make coal with. We're also going to grab this rare crow. So we actually have more stone than wood. So if we need to make more chests like that, then that's the way to go. We now have access to just purchasing bombs for 1,000 gold apiece. That becomes important later. But for right now, we're just going to keep farming iron ore and keep making our own. We want to save up our money for buying seeds and fertilizers and stuff like that for improving the farm. Alright, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. Now, I think the rest of our day is just farming iron ore. We're gonna need it. We're gonna need it. Is it just me, or was that level lighted strangely? Okay, I don't know if I should be wasting this time, but I'm kind of chasing after combat XP at the moment. This level is huge. So many dwarf scrolls, none of which are the ones I needed. And now that I have them all, I'm suddenly going to start getting tons of them, right? But I got what I needed, finally. We talked to the dwarf, we got our power book, we're going to take less damage from bombs now. That's going to greatly improve our Skull Cavern runs. We're going to use less food while we do it. Alright, I don't know if I want to keep doing this level or not. It seems like it might be beneficial because there's lots of monsters on it. But it is huge and takes a long time to traverse across this thing. I don't actually need that. I don't know why I'm hitting it. I'm already level 10 mining. What I really want is the combat XP and the iron ore. Quartz is well appreciated as well. And I have been finding a good bit of quartz lately. Now that I have a crystallarium pumping it out, I'm finding more in the mines than I used to. Isn't that an interesting phenomenon? Or maybe it's just I notice it more. We're just gonna finish out the rest of the day, and then fingers crossed we get a better luck day tomorrow. We get an iridium luck day sometime soon. One of these days. One of these days. So that we can go do a better Skull Caverns run. Alright, we're not going to pass up a ruby. That's a spicy eel. And once we get... Oh, it's a glow ring. I thought it might be a lucky ring for a second. I'm not running all the way down there. That's too far. Alright, we got a decent bit of iron here. Alright, again, we're still going to see a magnet ring. We already have that. It's, you know, it's theoretically possible that I could get an upgraded piece of equipment from a special slime. Theoretically possible. It's not probable. It's not even likely. But it is possible. All right. And that's why we keep resetting that floor, because sometimes there's no iron ore on it. Sometimes there's a couple iron ore on it. Sometimes there's a huge batch of it. And so it ends up evening out to be a decent amount for the effort. Nobody saw that. I don't claim to be good at this game. I'm still kind of struggling with what I'm going to do with copper going into the later game here. I'm not making tappers. I'm not really making anything, I think. So I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for. I'll have to look down a list of what copper is used in just to see if there even is anything that I need it for later. there's enough monsters here to make it worth just continuing to walk down. Alright, I'm not really worried about the monster loot, although the coal from the dust sprites is always welcome. I just want that experience. Just slowly but surely, even though it's only a couple points at a time, it all adds up. Alright, somehow I'm hitting all of the crystals and none of the dust sprites. Oh, I didn't even realize there was a slime there. Disguised himself as a rock. Alright, there's an iron deposit over to the right there. And then, I know there was one down there, but I'm not chasing after it. We're going to go ahead. Excuse me. We're going to go ahead home. Take stock of what we did today and go to sleep hoping for a better day tomorrow. Really just looking for that iridium luck day so that we can take our Skull Cavern run and come back with loads of iridium and iron and gold. Nope. Alright. I might make a couple kegs. I might have to make a couple kegs for the coffee. But to be honest, I'm not really sure that I care to do that. I can just as easily buy a bunch of coffee from Gus and make it into triple shot espresso in the kitchen that I do not yet have. Okay. These are worth 1 gold each. I am perfectly willing to throw them in the trash can just to not have to walk over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Beautiful. We'll sit him right next to the cave. Our little dwarf scarecrow guarding the cave. Okay, we got a forage item and we got a fruit item. And we're still just living in this tiny little cabin that we started with. We haven't upgraded it yet, and we probably won't upgrade it anytime soon. Once we do get to that point where we're upgrading the house, I think the idea here is that we fill the whole thing with garden pots. That's a neutral day, see? I think since I started checking the TV, I have seen 1 iridium day in over a month. It's crazy. Alright. Let's check the strawberries. No. Was it really just yesterday? No, it wasn't. Was it really? Alright, love you, bud. Look at how stylish this dude is with that fedora. Now that is a high class. That dog is definitely higher class than me. Alright, we're gonna do kind of the same routine. That mahogany is taking forever, even though we fertilized it. We're gonna do kind of the same routine. We don't have a hoe right now, so I can't go get that artifact spot. We're gonna go down. We're going to harvest the hardwood from the secret woods. And then, very likely, we will go back to the mines and at some point I feel like someone does want a fish taco, so I'm gonna buy that while I see it there. A retro catalog. Buddy, if I had more money, I would be buying that up right now. But I'm not at that point yet. But man, I really want that actually. Is this the only way to get that? Retro catalog. Yeah. That is the only way to get that. Alright, but I'm not ready right now. So we'll leave that there for now. It says it has a 10% chance of showing up in the traveling cart. So once we get later on, once we've accomplished more of our goals and we have money coming out of our ears, we can start checking the traveling cart every, what is it, Friday and Sunday? And with a 10% chance, we'll see it at some point again. Alright, so we're probably going to head back to the mine and do some more iron farming. It is a neutral luck day today, so there's not really much else going on. We're waiting on this pumpkin. We're very likely not doing any of those. And the giant stump obviously has to wait until after we repair the ferry, which actually we just did. Okay? So that's what we're doing today. We're going down to repair the ferry. We've got the 5 battery packs. We've got the 5 iridium bars. Alright, we might as well plant these mahogany seeds. I might as well make 6 tree fertilizers for them. And we're just gonna put them up here. We put the other one up here as well. So we're gonna put them up here. I mean, I do want to just fill it with crops, but we could kind of make Grandpa's shrine a little alleyway, a little tree alleyway there. I don't think it really matters. We're going to be chopping those down as soon as they're grown up. Alright, so we'll put the fish taco in there. Alright, so that is that. Alright, let's go. Let's go repair this ferry. We're going to Ginger Island tomorrow, guys. If it's not an Iridium Luck Day. If it is an Iridium Luck Day, we will be doing the Skull Cavern run that we've been waiting for. But if it's not an Iridium Luck Day, then we will be going to Ginger Island and getting that whole process started. Now, sadly, I will have to play the Golden Walnut game for a while. I do not love it. I am not a huge fan. Excuse me. I am very much willing, as soon as I have enough money, to pay the parrot. Because I'm just not a fan at all of all the puzzles and tricks in here. And I've tried using a slingshot on some stuff. I just can't figure it out. And I don't really care to learn either. I'm perfectly happy just paying for the golden walnuts after a certain point. I'll get, enough to open up the farm and the dig site. But once the farm is open, we can just immediately be making more money. And at that point, paying for the golden walnuts to open up the rest of the island is a decent deal. All right, there we go. So if it's not an Iridium Luck Day tomorrow, we will be going to Ginger Island for the first time on Fall 21 of Year 1. Not bad. Not bad. I believe I do get foraging XP for picking stuff up on the beach. So while I'm here, I'll have a look. Not much stuff. It is Sunday. That's the first day of the foraging week. Alright, so I guess we go to the mines. I guess we finish out the day farming iron ore again. And then I think, I don't know, just keep our fingers crossed for tomorrow, right? We're really looking for that Iridium Luck Day. That is all we're looking for. Now, thankfully, if it's not an Iridium Luck Day, we now have at least a task that isn't just farming iron ore. We at least have something else to add to the repertoire of chores to do. Is there anything down there? There's nothing down there. All right. All right, and actually after today is over, it's 2:30 p.m. there. After today is over in game, I'm going to go ahead and end this stream and spend some time with my birds. They're being very active, very noisy, and I think they want me to go in there and spend some time with them. So that's what I'm going to do. So we're gonna watch this snow come down together and just wait until there's a moment where I can go out and start digging and clearing, I guess. That's the part I don't look forward to. Otherwise, snowstorms are beautiful, right? But going out in there and having to clear the driveway, that's the not fun part. My driveway is 1/4 of a mile long, so it takes a bit. But if it is going to get up to 1.5 feet, then I have to do it in stages, about 6 inches at a time. While at the same time, if this storm is going to finish out with a layer of ice on top, I do not want to clear the driveway completely, only to have ice directly on the driveway. I would much rather have that ice on top of some snow so that I can go clear it tomorrow and it'll come right up. But if that ice is bonded to the driveway, then you have to wait for the weather to melt it. And that's not going to happen for at least 2 weeks here, so definitely some contemplating to do, depending on what their current forecast is. It has changed every hour or so, from snow to ice, back to snow, back to ice. Could be 1.5 feet of snow, could be 6 inches of snow and 1/2 inch of ice. It's hard to plan ahead when you can't really get a straight answer on what's going to happen today, you know? This is happening right now and they still can't really tell us what it's going to be. So that's an interesting, that's interesting circumstances. I don't know if it's just that they don't have enough data or what. They just don't have enough different standpoints to see what's going to happen. Or if it really is just that unpredictable because there's too many different variables. All right, there's a nice batch of iron. All right, let's move our iron up to the top. We've got 132 so far. That's not bad. I think we got here to the mines around 1:30 p.m. or so. Was it that late or was it earlier than that? We were down at the beach. We went to the secret woods. We repaired the boat. I'm pretty impressed with how much iron we've got in just half the day. Alright, we're not going to bother with it. We'll pick up these quartz that are easy and by the staircase. And we'll just do a couple more runs. And this time we will make some bombs, but I think we will also make some bars. It's definitely become obvious that I need to get back to making quality sprinklers if I want to progress the size of the crop fields. So some of this is going to get made into bars to make sprinklers with. Okay, that felt really bad, didn't it? Is there anything down here? There is. There's some iron. There's at least a little bit. Alright. Alright, let's just see what the next floor looks like, and then we'll head home here. Here's some iron. There's some combat over there. Alright. Alright, there we go. Time to go. Time to go. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to do a Skull Cavern runs this stream. I am pretty dead set on waiting for an Iridium Luck Day this time. We did the Gold Luck Day last time, and it went okay, but not great. You know, it was okay. But not great. I'm looking for better than that. I'm looking for better than that. Okay, we're throwing away all the dwarf scrolls now. Not concerned. All right. We've got some forage here. We've got some stuff to put in the bin. Okay. We're going to make some bombs. Let's say 50. Let's say 50 bombs. Whoops. And then we have way more than enough. We have a head start on our next Skull Cavern run after this one. And we'll go ahead and make the 7 quality sprinklers that we can make right now. And we'll head on down to our quality sprinklers section here. All right. So we have started to expand the field again. We want to work on this all winter long. We want to be as close as possible to a full farm next year. Alright, so my next stream will be starting with either Ginger Island or a Skull Cavern run. That is a guarantee. I will either be going to Ginger Island or I will be doing a Skull Cavern run. Because if it is an Iridium Luck Day, I will be going to the Skull Cavern, and if it is not, it is an Iridium Luck Day. Okay, I'm pretty sure that is set in stone. Pretty sure that is set in stone. So on the next stream, I will be doing that Skull Cavern run. Okay, that's going to be tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm just going to give a little tour of the current field before I sign off here. Always remember to pet the dog, guys. Always remember to pet the dog. Alright, stay warm, stay safe, and have a great day.